Hey there, everybody. Ready for the second Final Four game in May Madness? We already have one finalist, and that is the Brooklyn Dodgers of 1955 as they took out the 78 Yankees in convincing fashion. And now we have the We Are Family Pittsburgh Pirates of 1979 against the 2003 New York Yankees for the right to play Brooklyn and crown the May Madness winner for 2020. All right, let's look at the starting lineups. First for Pittsburgh, who is the de facto visiting team because they're the 26th seed. The Yankees are the 21st seed, so they're the home team. And leading off will be Omar Moreno in center. Bill Madlock's at third. Dave Parker's in right. Willie Stargell's at first. Bill Robinson's in left. John Milner, the DH. Phil Garner at second. Ed Ott, the catcher. Tim Foley at short. And on the mound, the Candyman, John Candelaria. And in 1979, he was 14-9 with a 3.22 ERA. If the Pirates win, then Bert Behome Blyleven would face Brooklyn in the finals. All right, let's go to the Yankees for their lineup. Derek Jeter will lead off at short. Bernie Williams is in center. Alfonso Soriano is at second. Jason Giambi is at first. Jorge Posada is the catcher. Hideki Matsui is in left. Raul Mondesi's in right. Matsui's a DH, my bad. He's actually the DH. Rivera's in left. So Nick Johnson's on the bench. Giambi moves from DH to first, and then Matsui's the DH, so Rivera can get in the lineup against the lefty. So Rivera's in left field, batting eighth. Aaron Boone, third baseman, will bat ninth. And then Mike Mussina is on the mound. 17-8, 3.40 ERA. If the Yankees advance to play Brooklyn, it'll be Andy Pettitte on the mound. And Carl Erskine will be going for the Brooklyn Dodgers regardless of who advances for either one of these two teams. So we are ready to go. I've got my dice out. Pittsburgh Pirate color dice along with Yankee blue. I usually have a backstop up here, but I have a reason not to have a backstop now. My newest thing I've gotten just came in today. Instead of buying another card set, which I've already got too many of, I figured I'd take my stimulus money and money I'm not spending in gas to drive to work and stuff since I'm working from home, and go with this dice tray. Really nice wood. I mean, it cost about $75, so I wanted a nice one. I didn't want to go cheap because this is going to last me the rest of my life, so I figured I better do that. Got a little opening up there, right there, where you put the dice in and it comes down. And I played a couple of practice games, not Strat, but other games using this, and just so I could get used to it, and it did pretty well for me. So we'll slide this back over here to give room for the cards. So we're ready to go. Mike Mussina is on the hill for the Yankees, and at the plate rather, is going to be Omar Moreno. Now both when the Yankees pitch, the Pirates are going to be using their red side, so we don't even have to worry about this part right here unless the Yankees bring in a lefty. Now when Pirates come up, we'll be looking at the blue for the Yankees, so I'll have to make sure I can fit all that in the camera. I may have thought about going maybe vertical, but I think I'm just going to go for like this for now. Let's see, if I move the thing back a little further, I might be able to fit everything in here. If I back up just a hair, it just might do it. Actually, I think this might very well work. So we'll try that and see how it goes. Always trying new stuff here. All right, let's bring the score sheet back here a little bit better so you can see it. All right, so now I won't have dice flying all over the place, hopefully, assuming I can put the dice in the tray without dropping it. So this second Final Four game in May Madness is now going to be underway, and we'll see what the first dice roll. I'm going to go ahead and roll the D20 just in case it's needed for a split chance, so I don't have to roll it a second time. Most often it won't be needed, but I'll roll it just in case, or have it roll just in case. So we start out with a 5-4, and a 5-4 for Mussina against the lefty is a catcher X. So we're going to look at the catcher X rating defensively, and that is Posada, and Posada checks in as a 3E1, so most likely not going to be the problem. 3E1, so it's 3-19. He gets to that. That's a 5. So that is a rare play. How about that? So we go to the catcher result, and a 3 and a 19 is a G2, but it's a G2 with a 5 on it. So we're going over here to G2 for the rare play. Batter lines a shot that deflects off the pitcher to the fielder who makes the play at first base for the out runner advances. So that really had absolutely nothing to do with the catcher. So that's kind of weird that would happen. So I'm just going to call it a ground ball in front of the catcher. I'm not going to worry about what the rare play thing says. It doesn't make any sense when you're checking the defense of the catcher. Why would the pitcher be involved on a ricochet? So just didn't make sense. So when it doesn't make sense, I just default to something else, and we'll keep it simple. 2 to 3 ground out. Posada throwing to Giambi for out number 1. All right, here's Bill Madlock. Madlock, a 2-2 against a righty, and he's going to pop it up to short for out number 2. So 2 down, and that brings up Parker. Parker, a 6-6 against the lefty. 6-6 is a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Buccos here in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. Pittsburgh nothing. The Yankees are coming to bat. And the Candyman getting his warm-up tosses in. We'll be starting out facing Derek Jeter. Shortstop, followed by Williams and Soriano. We got a 4-9 against Candelaria, and that's a ground ball to third. Madlock all over it. 1 away. 1 down for Bernie Williams, second base, center fielder rather, second hitter. That's what I meant to say. 3-9 for Bernie Williams is a solid single to right field. So 1 out single, and Bernie is a C stealer, so he will be held. He's not going to run anywhere, but he will be held. Here's Soriano. 4-7 against Candelaria. 1-8's a single. That's a 17. So it's a line out to third. So that by doing the D20 like that, it saves me an extra roll, particularly when I was doing it by hand. So that works out nicely. So there's 2 down, and that brings up Giambi, first baseman. 4-7 against Candelaria, and that's a 1-14 for a single. That's an 18 though, so it's a ground ball to first, handled by Stargell, and the inning is over. So one inning is in the books. So I figure rather than paying 70-something bucks for a card set when I've already got too many card sets to play as it is now, my splurge or my vice would be to make the games easier. So I'm hoping this. I've read the reviews on this. It got really good reviews. I got it off of Amazon. It's like a cherry type wood with lots of. I mean, it's really, really nice. I doubt my camera is doing it justice. It's really solid and really nice. So at least early results are I'm very happy with it, and I'm glad I purchased it. All right, so here is Willie Stargell to face Mussina, and we get a 2. I don't know if it shows up on the camera or not. 2-8, getting close to the border there. 2-8 for Stargell. That's a strikeout. So Stargell out on strikes. Yeah, this thing may or may not be good for videos. I don't know. I know it's good for personal use when I'm playing offline, but it may or may not do well for videos because sometimes the dice can get blocked. 4-4 for Robinson against Mussina. Fly ball center field X. That is Bernie Williams, and Bernie Williams checks in defensively as a 3 E1. Oh, look at this, a 3 and a 1. That's going to drop in for a base hit, probably a double. We'll double check it. 3 and a 1 for an outfielder is a double. 3 stars, but nobody's on base. But it is a double, and that's an 8. And E1 on 8 is not going to be a problem for an error, but it will be a double. 1 out double for Bill Robinson. Boy, Bill Robinson was huge in their last game. He's been a stud for them in basically the whole tournament. All right, so here is John Milner. Robinson is a B stealer, will be held. We get a 3-2 for Milner. 1-7 is a home run. That is a 7. It is gone. So how about that? John Milner, a 2-run bomb. Because we're not robbing home runs, we're not doing ballpark effects, and we're not robbing home runs. So it's a 2-run bomb for John Milner. And all of a sudden, the We Are Family Pirates lead it 2-0 here in the top of the second. Here's Phil Garner. We get a 2-7 for Garner, and that's a walk. So Garner with a walk. He's a base stealer. He will be held. And that's another one of those Tabletop Earl things about the most likely result after a home run is a walk, and you saw it right there. Okay, we get a 2-6 for Ed Ott, and that's a ground ball, second base A. There's a plus there, but the guy responsible for holding the runner was Jeter, not Soriano. So Soriano will make that play, 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. So the inning's over, but 2 runs come in on the 2-run poke by Milner. We go to the bottom of the second, 2-0 Buccos. And now Candelaria comes back out to protect the lead. He's facing Jorge Posada, switch hitting catcher. And we get a 5-7. Switch hitter batting right, 5-7. Ground ball, second base X. That's Garner. And Garner, I believe, is a 3E17. No, I'm sorry, he's a 2E17, not a 3E17. 2E17. 2 and a 3, that might make a difference too. A 2 and a 3, he gets to it, it's a G3. And then that's a 12, and he's an E17. There's a 15 and a 16, but no 12. So good play for Phil Garner as he makes the, I'm sorry, he's an E17. So he does make the play. 1 away, Posada is out of there. And that brings up Godzilla, Hideki Matsui, the DH in this game. 1-8 against Candelaria, and a lefty is another ground ball to second. Garner an easier time on that one. 2 down for Mondesi, the right fielder. Mondesi a 6-7 against Candelaria. That struck him out. So that's going to end the inning. So I don't know how this dice tray is doing on the camera, but it sure is making my life a lot easier. And so I'm not, rolling dice all over the place, and maybe I'm rolling the dice and it's just, I'm getting the same rolls over and over, or, people can say I don't have the ability to roll my own dice the way I want it, so I can't fix results or anything like that. But anyway, it's just a whole lot nicer because this is neutral. If the dice come up bad, it's the dice tower's fault. So not my fault. All right, 1-7 for Foley, and that's a solid single. Tim Foley with the leadoff single. He's a C stealer. He will be held. He won't go anywhere, but he'll be held. And actually, Moreno's going to bunt. So we're going to do the 2d6s for the bunt. It's a 7. As a B, he's an A bunter, becomes a B bunter. And a B bunter states on a 7, batter's thrown up by first baseman. So it's a good bunt. So sacrifice hit. Giambi tosses to Soriano covering first, and Foley takes second base. So Foley's in scoring position with 1 out, and of course he's being held. And here's Madlock. Madlock a 4-8 against Mussina. Split chance, that's a 14. So 14 is a single 2 stars, and the sacrifice bunt works to get him a run. A little small ball, base hit by Madlock will score Foley. Pirates lead it now 3-0. 3-0, and now Mussina might be looking for some relief as he's getting knocked around a bit. So Madlock will be held. He's an A stealer. He's even thinking about running. Check Posada's arm. I think he's a 0. Posada, yep, he's a 0. So an A stealer, 1-15, being held drops him to a 13. So a 1-13, he'll make it. They're going to try it. It's a 5. He's in there. Stolen base. So stolen base for Madlock. He gets in scoring position with nobody out. I'm sorry, with 1 out because he had to sacrifice bunt for Dave Parker. Could walk Parker, but when you got other guys right behind him. So 5-8 Mussina against the lefty. 5-8's a fly to left. That is out number 2. So now he has to get by Stargell. Does Mussina. So not out of the woods yet. 2-9 for Stargell, struck him out, so he did get out of it. So the Pirates get the 1 run, and they increase their lead to 3-0 over the Yankees, giving John Candelaria a 3-run lead to play with. And he will be facing bottom of the order Rivera, Boone, and Jeter. Rivera, the left fielder. First action of the tournament for Rivera. First start anyway. 4-9 against Candelaria. Ground ball to third, one away. Brings up Aaron Boone. 4-9 again. Same thing. 4-9's ground ball to third. Like I said, not my fault. That's the dice tower's fault. Gave me the same numbers twice. Here's Jeter. 3-4 for Jeter against a lefty. Hit by pitch plus injury. He was injured before in a previous game, and he may be injured again. It's a 1 through 6 roll to keep him in the game. Anything 7 or above, he's out of this game. It's a 10. He's gone. So Derek Jeter, injured. He has to leave. And that's a definite big blow to the Yankees. And they will have to bring in Enrique Wilson, a much inferior shortstop, 4-8 as a shortstop. But that's what happens when you have the injury. So Enrique Wilson will take over. So Jeter very fragile in this tournament. Second time he's been hurt. All right, here's Bernie Williams now. Wilson is the new runner, and he is a C stealer, so they will hold him on, but he won't go anywhere. Here's Bernie Williams. 4-10 for Bernie, hitting right-handed against Candelaria. 4-10, catcher X. That is Ed Ott. Ed Ott checks in defensively as a 3-1. 3 and a 14 for the catcher. 3 and a 14 for a catcher is a pop out, standard pop out, and that's an 11. And I think he said he was an E. Did I say he's an E1? Yep, E1. So nothing happening there, just a regular old pop out. So pop out to end the inning. And we go to the fourth. It's 3-0 Buccos. As Yankees look like they were have a whole bunch of teams in the finals. A whole bunch of Yankee teams are making it into the final 8, Elite 8, and Final 4, but we could end up in the finals with no Yankee teams. So I'm sure there's some people out there that would not be, their feelings would not be hurt at all. I personally don't care. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm just interested to see how it turns out. All right, top of the fourth, Bill Robinson. We get a 3-5 for Robinson. That's a strikeout. So Robinson's out on strikes. One away. I'll bring up John Milner. Had that big home run. His first time up. 6-8 against Mussina. This time he's going to strike out. Mussina with the whiff. 2 down for scrap iron, Phil Garner. Garner, that's a 5-3 against Mussina. That's a fly ball right field X. That's Mondesi. Raul Mondesi checks in defensively as a 3-5. 3-5. 3 and a 5. I think he'll be all right with that. A 3 and a 5. No, he won't. 3 and a 5 is an SI2, and that is a 15. 15, and he is an E5 on a 15. Nope, no 15, but it is a single. 2 stars, but nobody's on base, so it's just a single for Garner. He cracks a 2-out single. And he will be held as a B stealer. He will not go anywhere, but he will be held. And now Ed Ott steps to the plate. Ott grounded into a double play his first time up. Can't do that now because there's already 2 outs. 3-5 for Ott, and he strikes out. And that ends the inning. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 3-0 Pittsburgh. And Sister Sledge is warming up their vocal cords. And Frank Sinatra is not saying a word. All right, here we go. Alfonso Soriano start the bottom of the fourth. 3-4 against the lefty. 3-4. He's hit by the pitch. That's a second hit batter by Candelaria. So he better watch out or he may get tossed. Soriano is a double-A stealer, so he will be looking to run. He starts as a 17 as a double-A stealer. Being held makes him a 15, and then Ed Ott's arm is a +1, makes it a 16. So 1 to 16, he makes it. And he does. Stolen base for Soriano. So he gets into scoring position with nobody out for Jason Giambi, first baseman. And we get a 1-7. 1-7 for Giambi against the lefty is a walk, so he didn't have to steal. He would have gotten there on the walk anyway. So uncharacteristic for Candelaria, 2-hit batsman, and now a walk. So he has to be careful. 2 outs, nobody on for Posada. That's a 4-6 against a right-hander. 4-6 split chance. That's a 7, which means it's a double, 2 stars. So that will score Soriano and move Giambi to third. Yankees are on the board as they cut the lead to 3-1. And they got the tying runs in scoring position with nobody out. So don't count the Yankees out by any means. Here's Hideki Matsui. The Pirates will play the infield back to get an out. 2-7 for Matsui, but they won't get it. That's a single, 2 stars. And the Yankees have just tied this game at 3. So just that quickly, the Yankees can tie this game, and they've done it. Matsui's an E-stealer. He will not run, or be held, I should say. But we're tied at 3 now. Didn't take long. Still nobody out. Here's Mondesi. 2-7 for Mondesi, and he lines it to third. Snagged by Madlock, and that's the first out. So 1 away, and that takes us to Rivera. Rivera, a 4-7. And that's a 1-8 single, 9-20 he lines to third. That's a 3. That's a single, 1 star. So the runner, Matsui, will make it to second. So runners at first and second with only 1 out for Aaron Boone. And now Chuck Tanner's got to check on Candelaria, maybe get the bullpen going here. Seems to have lost it. 1-6 for Boone, but that helps him out right there. Ground ball third base, hey. That is a 5-4-3 twin killing. And he needed it to get out of that inning, but the Yankees put up a 3 spot and have tied the game at 3 as we head to the 5th. So it looks like it might be a back and forth dogfight. Looks like the Pirates might walk away with it early on, but not so fast, my friends, as Lee Corso would once say, or at once said. All right, so 3-3. We go to the 5th. That's a 1-7 for Foley, and that's a single. So Foley's 2 for 2. He is a C-stealer. He will be held, but will not steal. Moreno bunted last time. This time they're going to have him swing away. And that's a 3-10 for Moreno. And he flies to left. A lot of hits in column 3, but not that one. Not a 10. So there's 1 away. And that's going to bring up Bill Madlock. Madlock a 6-4 on Musina's ground ball third base X. That's Aaron Boone. So if we check Aaron Boone defensively, he is a 2 E19. 2 and a 3 could be trouble. 2 and a 3. Nope, it's a G3. So but the runner will advance, and that's a 6. I don't think there's any problem with that. E19 for third baseman. Is there a 6? There's a 7, but not a 6. So it's a good play. The runner will advance. It's going to be a 5-3 put out. Foley will go to second base with 2 outs. And now it's up to Dave Parker to bring him home. Try to break the tie. 4-6 against Musina, struck him out. So Musina rebounding since that rough second inning. We are now tied 3-3 rather, as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Musina's fatigue is a 7. Candelaria is only a 6. So definitely have to keep an eye on Candelaria, especially if he starts giving up more runs. Here's Enrique Wilson. He took over for Jeter, who was injured. 2-5 against, and that's going to be a walk. So Enrique Wilson does draw a lot of walks, and he did so right there. Leadoff walk. He's a C-stealer. He will be held, but will not go anywhere. And Bernie Williams. A 2-5 for Bernie Williams against a lefty. It's another walk. So John Candelaria having some control issues. And now the bullpen, Enrique Romo is loosening for the Pirates, right-hander. He is tossing in the bullpen pretty emphatically to make sure he gets ready. Here's Alfonso Soriano. That's a 2-9 for Soriano. Struck him out. A lot of hits in column 2, and he found the 2-9. And that is a strikeout. So 1 away, and that brings up Jason Giambi. Infield playing double play depth. 3-6 for Giambi against the lefty. Another hit by pitch, and that's it. The umpires have seen enough. They have just tossed John Candelaria. That's his third hit by the pitch. So they have seen enough, and I think Chuck Tanner's probably seen enough anyway. So that's going to be it for Candelaria. He just, I don't know what got into him, but he just had control issues. So they are going to the bullpen, and they're going to Enrique Romo. So Enrique Romo, the right-hander, 1979, 10-5, 2.99 ERA with 5 saves. So Candelaria only goes 4 1/3, and he faces 22 batters. But he hit 3 batters and had a bunch of walks. He's got the bases loaded with only 1 out, and Enrique Romo's got to face Posada with the bases loaded. So who knows what will happen with that. Infield, looking to turn 2 against Posada. Let's see, does he have any ground ball? He's got a few ground ball A's on there, so let's see. 2-8. This time Posada batting against a right-hander. 2-8. Oh, goodness, that's a grand slam home run. Look at that. 2-8. Well, against the lefty, it would have been a solid home run. Against the righty, it's a 1-17 homer. That's a 10. That is a grand salami. And the Yankees have just come all the way back from 3-0, and they now take a 7-3 lead. All those, well, 6 of the 7 runs are charged to Candelaria, and they're all earned. So Candelaria, really troublesome, and Romo, talk about getting treated rudely, gets greeted with the Posada grand slam. And now Chuck Tanner is really beside himself. Here's Matsui, 6-6 against Romo. That's going to be a fly ball to left for out number 2. So 2 down for Mondesi, and all of a sudden the Yankees are looking really good. 3-10 for Mondesi. Foul out to Ott to end the inning, but a 4 spot on that grand slam by Posada, and all of a sudden after 5 complete, it is the Yankees 7 and the Pirates 3. And Mussina now seems to be large and in charge with this 4-run lead. But here's Wilbur Stargell. 3-10 for Stargell, and it's a strikeout plus injury, so Stargell has a chance to be injured. 1-6, and he has to leave. And they have to bring Sanguillen in to play first base because their backup first baseman, Milner, is the DH, unless they can bring Robinson in. No, Robinson's not. No, he is. They can move Robinson to first base. Okay, so they could do that. So let's see, 1-6, and he stays in the game. Anything more than that, he has to come out. It's a 15. He's got to come out. So Stargell is gone. Stargell will leave, and now let's look at how they're going to play this. They may, let's see how they're going to play this. They don't have any other outfielders though, so they got Lee Lacy, but he's not very good. They might just be better off. Boy, that's a tough call here because they just don't have a whole lot. So, which way do you want to go with this? That's the question. They're going to bring in Lee Lacy. So Lee Lacy is going to come in and play left field, and Robinson will move from left field to first base. So that's the way that's going to work. Lee Lacy in left field, and Robinson is now the first baseman. Alrighty, so there you go. So injuries on both sides. Jeter and Stargell both out, and now that brings up Bill Robinson, who is now going to be the first baseman going forward. 6-7 against Mussina, and that's a strikeout. So Mussina is just packing in the strikeouts. Look at all these strikeouts he's getting. And that grand slam home run, I think, kind of took the wind out of the sails. Sister Sledge has pretty much packed it up. And the chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra, is warming up the vocal cords. 5-7 against the lefty. Ground ball second base X. That's going to be Soriano. That could be trouble. Soriano's a 4, and his error is a 20. So 4E20. 4 and a 13, he might actually get to that. 4 and a 13, he does. It's a G3, and it's E20 and an 8, and there is no 8, so it's a good play for Soriano. He will make the play, and Pirates go down quietly once again. In fact, let's see. Look at all these strikeouts they've got there. So Stargell's got the hat. He had the hat trick. He struck out all 3 times. So it just wasn't his day either. So Romo's going to come back out. We'll face Juan Rivera. Rivera singled his last time up. 212 for Rivera. This time he's going to pop it up to Garner at second. We're out number 1, so it's looking more and more like the Yankees of 03 against the Brooklyn Dodgers of 55. But we still got 3 innings to go, so anything can happen. Here's Boone. That is a 4-5. Struck him out. So Romo gets the strikeout there. So other than the home run, Romo has pitched well. He's gotten the other 4 guys out. Just that home run to Posada that cost him. Here's Wilson, top of the order. 2-7. 1 to 8's a single, and that's a 3, so he gets his single. So Wilson, since he came in, has walked and singled. So he has not missed a beat. He will be held. Here's Bernie Williams. 2-5 for Bernie Williams. 2-5 is a walk. So keeping it going. 2 on, 2 out for Soriano, the dangerous Soriano. That is a 3-10, and another hit by the pitcher. Are you kidding me? That's the 4th Yankee player that has been hit by a pitch, and that's going to do it for Romo. He has been ejected also because warnings had been given, so he's gone as well. Romo pitches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 batters faced, and he's going to make it to an inning and 2/3, or is it an inning and a third? Let's see, 2/3. Yeah, inning and a third. And we'll get a new Pirate pitcher to face Giambi. It'll be the lefty. They'll bring in the lefty. Left-hander Grant Jackson will be coming on. Grant Jackson to face Giambi with the bases loaded and 2 outs. They just can't afford to give up a single run further. So they're hoping that Grant Jackson can stem the tide. 1-7 for Giambi. It's another walk. So between walks and hit by pitches, all this with 2 outs and the base is clear. You thought that Wilson single was kind of meaningless, but now he scores a run. Got walked in. A walk, hit by pitch, and another walk. And the Yankees now lead it 8-3. Run is charged to Romo. Here is Posada, who hit that grand slam last time. He's up with the bases loaded again. Can he hit 2 grand slams in back-to-back innings? 3-6. 3-6. No, but he will. No, it's against the lefty. He will walk again, and that forces in another run. So, yet another walk. These Yankees are just drawing these walks left and right, and they're off the batter card, so the pitchers are kind of helpless. You know, apparently the Yankees of 03 drew a lot of walks. So it's now 9-3, and here's Matsui. Base is still loaded. 1-9. 1-9. Ground ball to first. The inning's finally over. But 2 more runs, and it is 9-3. What once was a 3-0 lead is now 9-3. Yankees in control. And we go to the top of the 7th. This will be the fatigue inning for Mussina. But since this is his last game to pitch, might as well let him go as long as he can. Rest your bullpen for the finals. So I doubt you certainly won't see Rivera, that's for sure. Probably see some scrubs just to finish out the game and save their bullpen to have all freshness for the Brooklyn game. All right, here's Garner, 2-8. 2-8 for Garner, ground ball to short. So a very clean score sheet here up top for the last 3 innings, as Mussina has just settled in and is not giving up a thing. 5-10 for Ott against the lefty. 5-10 is a ground ball shortstop X. Now that's Enrique Wilson. He's a lot more of an inferior fielder than Jeter is. He's a 4.E8. Now Jeter will be available for the finals, but it's a 4.E8 for Wilson. 4 and a 9. I think you'll get to that. Let's see. 4 and a 9 is a G3, so he does get to that. That's a 9. He's an E8, no problems. So Wilson will make the play. Back-to-back shortstop groundouts. 2 up, 2 down for Tim Foley, who is 2 for 2. That is a 2-10. And he's going to walk. So a 2-out walk to Foley. He will not be held as a C stealer. He's not even going to run. Just going to stay there. Here's Moreno. 2-8 for Moreno, and he grounds to the first. Giambi's got it, and the inning is over. So Mussina has made it through 7, and the Yankees large and in charge as they hold a 9-3 lead. And that might be all for Mussina. They may go ahead and turn it over to the scrubs and give people a chance to play that haven't played with this big score. And I believe the Pirates are going to do the same. Here in the bottom of the 7th, they will be taking out Grant Jackson and bringing in right-hander Bruce Kison, starter/reliever. So Bruce Kison is coming on. Kison 13-7, 3.19 ERA. Started 25 games, but he does have a relief rating of 4. He has not pitched in this series yet, I don't believe. Maybe once in relief, but haven't done much, so they're going to go ahead and give him a chance. So Kison will be on, and Grant Jackson faced 3 batters for his 1/3 of an inning. All right, so it's ugly as it can be. Here's Mondesi. That is a 5-6 against Bruce Kison, and it's a fly to center. 1 away. That brings up Rivera. 6-6 against Kison. That's a strikeout. So Rivera out on strikes. 2 down for Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone, 6-5. 6-5 against Kison is another strikeout. So Kison, 1, 2, 3, gets it done. We go to the top of the 8th for the Pirates. New pitcher for the Yankees coming on. Let's see who they're going to go to. Is there anybody that hasn't pitched yet in this tournament for them? I think there's one that hasn't pitched much, if he's pitched at all, and that's Chris Hammond, the lefty. So they're going to go to lefty Chris Hammond, and he checks in as 3-2 with a 2.86 ERA and a save. So not bad, he just hasn't been used. So Chris Hammond will take over for Mussina, who really turned things around since that second inning, since the second and third inning. Innings 4 through 7, he was pretty much lights out. So Mussina faces 28 batters. And it'll be Madlock, Parker, and Lacey because Stargell's hurt. So Madlock, Parker, and Lacey due up against Chris Hammond. So Chris Hammond to Mad Dog Madlock, 2-5. That's a solid double from Bill Madlock. So Madlock, a double. Leads things off. He will not be held. Parker, 4-2 against the lefty. 4-2 is a fly to left. So that's 1 away. Sends us to Lee Lacey. First time up for Lacey. 3-5 against the lefty. And that's a split chance. 1 to 8's a triple, 9 to 20's a double. That's a 15, it's a double. So back-to-back doubles. Or not back-to-back, but 2 doubles in 3 batters. And the Pirates finally get another run on the board, cut the lead to 9-4. So the Yankees will keep an eye on Hammond, make sure it doesn't get out of hand here. Here's Robinson. And that is a 2-9 for Robinson, and that's a home run. That is a 2-run bomb for Bill Robinson. And all of a sudden, Pirates laying waste to Chris Hammond, and that's going to be it for Hammond. They are not going to play around. He goes the 3rd of an inning, faces 4 batters, and gives up 3 runs. So Hammond, Mr. Hammond, is going to be out of there. So they'll have to go to somebody else. With Milner coming up, they'll go to another lefty, Gabe White. So Gabe White, another lefty, will be coming on. And Gabe White checks in. 5-1, 4.05 ERA for Gabe White. So White is aboard. He'll be facing Milner to lead things off. 1 out, 3 in. Lead is cut to 9-6. 3-7. Milner get lefty on lefty. 3-7. A 1-7's a double. That's a 2. So it will be a double for Milner. So how about this? Maybe they shouldn't have taken Mussina out because this is getting bad here. May have to get Rivera in the game after all. There's Garner. 1-7 for Garner. Ground ball shortstop A. There is nobody holding anybody on though, so it's just simply a ground ball to short. One away. Runner had to hold. And here's Ed Ott. Lefty on lefty. 1-9 for Ott. And look at this, a split chance. 1 to 10's a home run. That's a 5. It's a 2-run bomb for Ed Ott. And what in the Sam Hill is going on here? 5 runs for the Pirates. It's now 9-8. And Gabe White's going to have to come out. Gabe White only gives a third of an inning. And Jeff Nelson will have to come on. Here in the top of the 8th. Jeff Nelson's going to come on. Try to get this last out and then send it to Rivera for the 9th. So Jeff Nelson is on. Nelson, 4-2, 3.74 ERA and 6 saves, will be facing Tim Foley. 1-9 for Foley, and that is a ground ball to third to finally end the inning. So Nelson goes a third of an inning, faces 1 batter. White goes a third of an inning, faces 2 batters. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs for the Pirates, and all of a sudden it is a 9-8 game. So they have to hold off on bringing the scrubs in. 9-8, and Rivera will come in to pitch the 9th. Enrique Wilson will be the leadoff man for the Yankees. And for the Pirates, do they bring in Keeson again? Do they keep him in? May as well. He went 1, 2, 3 in that inning there. Or you could bring in DeColvey. But I think they're just going to stick with Keeson for the moment. Against Enrique Wilson. That's a 4-5, and he's a switch hitter batting left. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Foley. And Foley's a 2E19. 2 and a 3. 2 and a 3 is a G3. He gets to it. That's a 13. E19. Nope, a 14's an error, but not a 13. So good play for Foley. Retires Wilson. Brings up Bernie Williams. 4-3 switch hitter. Fly ball right field X. That's Parker. Parker checks in as a 1E15, so you will definitely get to it. Don't need the D20, but that E15 is troublesome. Could be an error. E15 and a 14 very well could be an error. E15 and a 14 is a 2-base error, so it's a 2-base error on Parker. E9, first error of the game for either team, I believe, but it could be a big one as Bernie Williams reaches on second base. He is a C stealer, so they will have to hold him on. Here's Soriano now. They could walk Soriano intentionally, but then you got Giambi and Posada, so pick your poison. 3-5 for Soriano. Ground ball second base C. That'll move the runner to third, but now there's 2 outs for Giambi, and you're not going to walk Giambi because you know what Posada has done in this game, so you're going to pitch carefully to Giambi. We get a 5-11. Keeson, 5-11, that's a single, and that will bring home an insurance run. An insurance run is in. It is now 10-8, and that brings up Posada. 10-8 game. Here's Posada. 6-7, ground ball second base X. That is Garner. Garner checks in as a 2E17. 2 and a 3, he'll get to that but barely. E17 and a 12. There's a 15 but no 12, so it's good play. Inning's over, but the Yankees pick up an all-important insurance run and now lead it 10-8 as we go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Buccos, and of course they'll have to do it against Mariano Rivera. So Rivera, who blew the save in the previous game, will try it again. 5-2, 1.66 ERA, 40 saves. So he is in. Try to finish things out, Rivera, and he will be facing the top of the order, Moreno, Madlock, and Parker. So Moreno, Madlock, and Parker here in the 9th against Rivera. 10-9 Yankees. 6-5 against Rivera is a strikeout. So Omar Moreno down on strikes. 1 away. Pirates running out of outs. Here's Bill Madlock. And that is a 3-8 for Madlock. 3-8's a ground ball back to Rivera, 2 down. So all the Yankee fans thought I was cheating the Yankees about taking Mussina out and bringing the scrubs in. Looks like they may survive that anyway. As we're down to our last out, Dave Parker, the Cobra. That's a 1-8, and that's a single, so that does keep the game going. And in fact, the tying run is now at the plate in Lee Lacy. But do they want to use Lee Lacy, or do they want to bring in somebody else? They don't really have any lefties off the bench. Everybody they have on the bench is right-handed. So I think you're pretty much stuck with Lee Lacy. People on the bench just don't have good averages. The coach is 288. That's the best they've got. But then you don't have anybody else to play in the outfield. So they're going to stick with Lee Lacy. Lee Lacy did double his last time up, but that was against a lefty. Let's see what he does this time with Rivera. 4-6, and he's going to do it. He's going to get a base hit. 1-6 is a double. That's a 4, so it's a double, but it's 2 stars. So the run does not score, but now the tying runs are in scoring position at second and third for Bill Robinson. So Rivera's got to bear down a base hit here, and the game will be tied. So fiascos all over the place, madness all over the place. Rivera's got to bear down and get Robinson, or we could have a tie game. 1-5. 1-5 struck him out, and Rivera hangs on for the win, as do the Yankees. They eliminate the We Are family by the final score of 10-8. Not going to bother going through all the totals because it's a complete mess, but the bottom line is